Welcome back, Greaseballs, to another episode of The Grease.
I want to know, what is the grease? That sounds better, huh? What's the grease, girl?
Where we overanalyze this week's episode of Canada's Drag Race Season 4. I am Princess Capella and joined today, every day, in the future, by the incomparable Joshita.
Hola! So excited for this week. So happy to be back. I gotta roll my sleeves up for this episode. I'm so ready. What did we have last week? I can't even remember.
I remember vividly because editing this past week's video, I have had the girl group challenge songs stuck in my head so bad.
Heartbeat, baby.
Last week we had the girl group challenge with Aurora snatching the win.
As she should have. And then we also had the girlfriend experience, who was sadly the one to sashay away. Am I giving Butch today with my hat? Or is it too much like you're gonna suck dick with your hat on?
Oh no, you look so butch.
Yeah, bruh. Is that what straights do, bruh?
In the bottom last week, we also had Kitten, Caboodle, Kiki Co, and the girlfriend experience. And as you said, unfortunately, the girlfriend experience went home.
We start this week with the girls coming back, and everybody is looking at the mirror, and Kitten apparently cannot read. And she is like stumbling through the mirror message.
Sisters, sorry.
She mentioned that she saved the girlfriend experience the week before and then sent her home that week, and she was like kind of struggling with that idea.
And I think it has to feel a little bit tough for Venus in this moment, seeing her roommate go home so early in the competition.
Yeah, and you could tell when like girlfriend was like exiting that she was like very upset when she was saying goodbye to Venus.
So then we have Kiki say she is here and she is ready for the win after her bottom placement.
I'm excited to see her kind of bring a little bit more fire. And then, so the girls are kind of like congratulating Aurora on her win, and she mentions that she's like, okay, I kind of feel like a top contender at this point, because like, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, and she definitely is.
You think that's fair?
I think she's stood out. The first episode, she wasn't in the top, but she definitely was higher in the pack, right? She was safe. Week to week, we've seen her doing consistently well, if not towards the top of the pack. So I honestly think we're going to see Aurora do really well in this competition. She's already proven that she is very well-rounded when it comes to acting and comedy. She can serve those things, and she's obviously serving it on the runway.
On top of that, it was like her first try doing the lyrics for the girl groups, and she won it with that. So like, clearly she's going to be one to keep an eye on. Obviously, I'm in love with her, so.
A few of the girlies are saying that Aurora should have saved Kitten based on her track record. What do you think about that?
I said last week that that's who I would have picked based on track record, so I probably would have saved Kitten. I feel like she has more to show, and even though she didn't save her, I feel like that lip sync was just another opportunity for Kitten to be like, I am here, bitches.
It almost worked to her advantage in the end. I think people were hoping that Kitten was going to fail in the lip sync and get out a strong contender, and she proved like, okay, I don't need to do splits and tricks and stunts. I can still serve a great lip sync.
Amy kind of just pops off and says she did not like Luna's performance.
I really enjoyed your performance, guy, but I didn't click with Luna.
the iconic I'm in love with you.
Who couldn't love that? That was so weird because Amy did the same thing the week before. It was like, Amy, as soon as they're, having the little tea session before they're de-dragging, is like, I didn't connect with your lip sync.
She handled it really well, Luna did, and she even kind of like turned it around and stuck the knife back in her, because she was like, well, I liked your performance, you just didn't win because you didn't do your choreo.
I enjoyed yours, so there's that. However, you didn't win today because you were not doing your choreo properly.
Can we just take a quick second to talk about Kiki's pussy outfit that she wears in the fucking workroom and looking like she's going to a fucking hair show?
Yes. Oh my God. I loved it. That like pink kind of floral sheer.
It was everything.
Once the girls come back to the workroom the next day, Nira kicks off saying that nobody should get saved by the beaver twice. Are we seeing some foreshadowing here? Are we going to see somebody get golden beavered twice and then Nira's going to pop off? Is it going to be Nira? You know, why is this particular moment stuck into the show?
There's always a reason for the edit like that. Good catch, because I didn't really necessarily think along those lines. At first I was just kind of like, well, why does it matter? Because like there could be a girl in like a situation, the same situation a couple different weeks where she just doesn't really deserve to go home or be in the lip sync.
Well, you know, we have to overanalyze here.
Nira was just like, I don't know, she was very pointed. And it kind of goes through the entire episode. She was like, nobody should have that beaver twice and blah, 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 blah. Like it, and then I think it was Kitten who was like, well, that's not a rule.
She seemed kind of pissed. I agree. I mean, I love it. I love when somebody's pissed off and starting shit.
How did Denim not know that beaver was a term for pussy?
Is beaver like a word for pussy?
I have maybe a theory here. I'm wondering, right? So, like, we have beavers in America, of course, but I think they're a little more like revered or something like that in Canada, and maybe it is more of an American thing, you know, to call pussy beaver. But I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here because I was like, wait, what the fuck?
I love that cultural explanation, Princess.
Yeah, so that's canonized now, so that's the reason. Aurora and Denim apparently have a little bit of an alliance.
We're getting some bubblings of girls that are whispering together. Brad then comes through to kind of like give the mini challenge. I kind of hate his coat. What did you think?
Yeah.
He comes in and he's introducing the mini challenge, which is a fierce photo shoot. They all have to choose one of the got to be wigs, which all have like silly little color names, to do this cute little photo shoot. Okay, so like Princess can vouch for this.
Oh my god.
I 100% will never, ever not get entertainment from people getting scared.
Oh my god. That is too true.
I love scaring people and I love it when people get scared. And I rewatched this mini challenge like 3 times.
You are such an asshole for that. Yeah, when we used to live together, that was the worst.
It was so good.
Oh my god.
And honestly, a lot of the queens had like amazing reactions to it.
I was so sad nobody took the pussycat wig though.
I thought somebody might, and I thought it might be Kitten. Amy, Yonsei, Chanel. I'm gonna give this one a boot.
Yeah, but Miss Aurora Matrix. I am gonna toot this bitch.
Definite 2. Love the hair, love the corset, love the model.
She also didn't react at all when the cannon went off.
There was a couple of girls that were just like, no, I don't care. Denim. I'm gonna give this one a 2.
Toot, love,
Yeah, I loved her big booty.
body. Kiki Ko, toot.
I'm gonna toot this one as well. Kitten Caboodle, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and boot this one.
Boot, she should have worn the pussycat wig. Luna Dubois with a 2.
Shoot! I'm giving this a shoot. Shoot, bitch.
Her body, amazing.
She's just glowing. And next we have Melinda Verga, who looks like a ghost, and I'm going to boot.
Painted for the ghouls. I'm gonna boot it. Melinda, for some reason, during the challenge, kept doing like the Heisman Trophy.
It's like
She kept doing yeah, she kept doing that in her pose. It was so weird. Near enough with my favorite wig and a toot from me.
I give this a toot. I did not expect this photo to come out of her session at all. Honestly, like when you look at all the pictures together, it is like, it pops out of everything.
Yeah, it has the most like movement. Her body is making an interesting shape and the shapes continued in her hair. This challenge made me really miss watching America's Next Top Model.
Oh my god, same here. I thought the exact same thing. Speaking of, the last one we have here is Venus, who was
Oh my god.
amazing. She tells us that she's a signed model, and toot all the way.
Yeah, I believe her. Tooched and booched, bitch. Ready to slay. Fierce. I'm just gonna say a bunch. Oh, she's smizing.
Oh, she is smizing.
Nero wins the mini challenge, and Brad tells the Goyles that the main challenge is making upscale couture from his closet clean out leftovers. Now, last week, I said, knowing it was a design challenge, I was putting Kiki in the top, and you had agreed and said we may also see Denim and Kitten do really well.
I also loved that Brad was, when he was saying that it was going to be items from his closet, he said Bradley Ann Goreski. So then we kind of like transition over to, okay, the girls know what's up now. It's time to get to work in the workroom. And that is when kind of like panic starts to settle in for a few of the girls.
It doesn't seem like a lot of them can sew, which is like every year there's so many people on the show who don't know how to sew at all.
I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like maybe like a lost art or something people just kind of like look down on or something. But like, I feel like it's an incredibly useful tool to have as a drag queen. I don't sew myself. I'm not a drag queen, so I'm not talking down on anybody. But like, come on, you could do it. But another thing is I do think that queens come in not being able to sew and they put together amazing looks still. So a lot of people watching could be like, well, I could go do that.
That is true. And it's also harder to take, you know, clothing that's already made and then repurpose it by sewing it than it would be if it was just a regular design challenge. I start off absolutely in love with Denim's idea of making couture knitwear. I'm a knitter myself, and there's so much amazing work out there, both like knit and crochet. But Katya has definitely served couture knitwear already, mama. And I think Aquaria did like an upscale knitwear look as well.
We have Venus, who is very stressed out. She like doesn't sew. She is kind of spiraling, but trying to keep it together. She even, I think, walks out of the workroom at one point. She like went to Aurora for like some support, and Aurora's like, I wish I could be more help, girl. And I think that's like the way you have to handle being friends. You have to be like, good luck, sis.
Melinda is like meditating and connecting spiritually with the drag gods, wearing her entrance look coat.
Having a whole moment.
She's like starting a summoning circle, you know, casting spells and shit over there.
She's truly speaking the outfit into existence.
I actually really liked the black and gold fabric that she had initially.
I agree. I think it was a lot better of a base to start with than just that kind of big coat.
She's telling Brad that it's like something along the lines of Versace. And I was so excited to see, okay, what the fuck is this going to turn out to be? There is also a moment where Melinda is working on her garbant and saying that her taste level has never been questioned. And Luna is just laughing in the background.
My taste level's never been questioned in my life. And then she's also, during the workroom part, she's like cheesing on about how the judges are the best at what they do, and she's gonna take all that critique and run with it, and you're stupid if you don't.
Production went crazy on this episode. They must have been watching this footage like, yes, yes, yes.
I was also like, so there was a couple of times when Brad was going through kind of talking to the girls about like what they were gonna do. There was a couple of times where he like wasn't feeling like what the girl was laying down. He was just like, how do you handle that as the queen?
I don't even know. Some of them completely changed what they were doing, like Melinda, and some of them were like, it's too far gone, I just have to go for it, like Amy.
Well, also Amy kind of doubled down on her decision after they were like, don't use towels.
I do adore Brad telling Denim not to dial it in and just be as chaotic as they want to be. On the American seasons, a lot of time we see the more eccentric queens get told like, okay, you need to rein it in. We need to see you do something different. We need to see you do glamour. And Brad is just like, no, absolutely. Do whatever you want. Be as chaotic as you want. We just want to see what you're going to come up with.
And I love that. I feel like that might be a little bit of a difference with the international seasons. Did you know who Christian Allaire was?
I have the exact same thing written down.
Are you kidding me?
I said, do you think they know who Christian Allaire is, or do they just know the name Vogue? Well, we did get some coming out stories from the queens. Luna's was absolutely heartbreaking about how she just pieced the fuck out, basically.
Yeah, it was like, well, and at first I was like, wait, why? What's going on? And then she goes on to explain that like she's Nigerian and her parents are both pastors, and like that just does not mix with that type of culture. So like immediately after she was explaining that, I was like, oh wow, this makes a lot more sense.
And Amy has a fairly similar story as well, coming again from an evangelical background. And she really goes into the details about the impact that it's had on her life.
And maybe God is gay.
You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? But I love that, like, they had that moment because, like you mentioned earlier, they've kind of been, well, at least Amy kind of been picking at Luna a little bit, and they kind of found that common ground.
I never had to come out. My family just knew I was fucking gay.
Nobody knows I'm gay, bruh.
It's the hat. Nobody can tell.
My dick sucking hat. No one can tell. Fuck. I got on my nice dick sucking hat tonight. Are we ready for the run wazzle?
The judges come out, and I loved Tracy's coats.
I wasn't like madly in love with any of the judges' looks aside from Brooke's, as usual. Brooke looked like she was like the ballerina dancer like in a snow globe.
I actually did really like Christian Allaire's glitter cut crease he was serving.
I like your glitter crease.
So starting in alphabetical order, we have Amy Yonsei Chanel. This is just, I mean, how much do we need to talk about this look?
They told her it wasn't going to look good. They said that the towel was a bad idea for the material. It wouldn't look good under the lights. And all of the above was true. The little loofah thing train and like the slippers in her hair, that it just seems like all completely like tacked on at the very end.
Christian Allaire is just like, oh, I love the loofah train. I love how campy it is. And I'm like, okay, this guy is refusing to be mean at all to the queen. So we're going to have to really go in.
He wasn't doing it. He was not representing correctly.
So Amy, no. Also, stop doing your lipstick like that. It doesn't look good. Next
up, we have Aurora Matrix, coming in at like a very like light blue kind of. She even says motherly, matronly kind of look.
Are those words we want to associate with a drag queen?
No. And this, I'm hoping that this is like kind of bottom of the heap for Aurora, because it was definitely not my favorite. And everything else that she's been bringing thus far has been amazing. And I think she said this was the first time she made a dress.
The applique is not needed. The bottom is wrinkled. The bottom looks unfinished. The top looks, if she had gotten rid of the applique and just done the high neck and then something completely different on the bottom and changed the entire look, it would be fine. Next up, we have Denim bringing us the repurposed crochet knitwear look.
Featuring sleeves. It's funny that you mentioned Katya earlier, because when she came out in this look, I was like, oh my god, this reminds me of Katya. Like when she had her mom in the makeover with like the babushka moment. I was like, this is so good, but it's polished. Like the sleeves were a good kind of like mini reveal. I really liked it. I thought everything was just hitting for this one.
There are parts of it that I like. There's like two little buttons that are nipples. I think that's really clever and silly. I would have liked to see the turquoise net sort of element repurposed a little bit differently. I'm really interested in the headpiece. Like I can't tell if it was crocheted or if it's like they found a half-finished scarf or what it is exactly, because it is knitted somehow. I'm very interested. I wish I could find out more about the look because I want to know how it was made.
Next up, the Grande Dame, Kiki Ko. So good, so polished, so like just doesn't even look like it was something that she just whipped up.
When she was making those big cardboard pieces in the workroom, I was like, what the fuck is this about to be? I was scared, bitch. And then when she walked out, I mean, it really is so elegant with the jewel in the middle is so beautiful.
She had the embellishments on like the shouldery part of that like flip off on the shoulder bit, which was amazing. And then even during critiques on the runway, Brad mentioned like that kind of like engineering part, like where she put the diamonds down on, or the rhinestones down on the bottom of the train to keep the dress, because she couldn't make the lining.
This was 3 oversized shirts sewn together, and you really can't tell. There's no obvious part where it is going together with another piece.
Every other detail of the look, the makeup, the hair, the accessories, it's all perfect.
Coming to the stage, Kitten Caboodle. Serving up some Barbarella here. I am actually not crazy about this look. What did you think?
Yeah, I like it from like the tits up. I actually like the thing around the head in this one because she's got like the ponytail pulled through it. I like that. The shoulders are like the little forearm pieces. Like, okay, I'm fine with that. But everything from like here down is so like kind of like the hog body thing. Like it needs to more shape. It needs to be cinched. And I think the fact that she left that kind of like skirt part so long, I don't know. It's so straight. It's very strange.
When she was making it in the workroom, like when she was having her walkthrough with Brad, she put the corset on with the bottom of the skirt, and I immediately was like, no, because the skirt section needs to be more of a V shape. So if the skirt, either the whole thing came up about an inch or so higher, or the sides of it were up in a V, like Sailor Moon kind of, pleated skirt moment, it would give more of a waist, like cinch illusion and kind of give a better silhouette. I love the Barbarella helmet moment. I mean, you know me, I love a helmet. She did weirdly have 2 ponytails.
Oh, I did. I missed that. I love a double ponytail though.
I think it was just not all of her hair made it through the top.
Next up, we have Luna Dubois, who, okay, the second she held up those 2 sleeve colors, I was like, yes, 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 bitch. They looked amazing. They complemented each other amazingly. Honestly, I thought she should have been in the top.
This is something that someone could actually wear. I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't transformed enough. Next up, we have Melinda Verga, bringing us Vivienne Westwood.
Inspired. She was a terror this episode. I don't know what she did. But okay, so look wise, I honestly don't hate it. I wish that it had a little bit more, like she needed more hip or ass or something. I'm like very mid with this one.
See, when this came out, I was like, oh, I love that, because I love flannel, I love plaid, tartan, any type of fabric like that. It's definitely not transformed enough. You know, I like the idea that she has with attaching the sleeves to the harness, but it did, kind of need to go further, maybe making like a more obvious 2-piece between the top and the bottom, like a super cropped mini top with like a pleated skirt or something, That's
a good point. That would have worked, I think. And I wish she would have maybe done some different shoe.
I feel like we keep saying that for her as well.
She is the punching bag.
No, the judges aren't using her as a punching bag, but I certainly am.
I freely will do that. Next up, we have Near Enough, who has this pink and purple number, which I don't know. When I first saw this one, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this whole area, like the chest torso area. And then I don't remember who said it on the judges panel, mentioned that if Nira was going to do that deep plunging V, maybe not have the skin showing here. And I think that's what it was. I think the shape just looked like strange.
That was Christian, actually, that said that.
Christian Allaire, who we all know well. I feel like this wig and Melinda's wig were from the same collection.
Venus is actually wearing like a black bob too. That would actually be so funny one episode if all the queens were just like, oh, we all have the exact same wig. Let's all wear it. That would be iconic. Oh my God.
What's your name, B.O.B.? So they're calling you Bob. I love the boots on this look of Miss Nira.
Oh, yes.
The boots are everything.
The skirt definitely detracts from it because it's not well constructed, But I like the top with the plunging V and the cutouts. You know, I love how much skin she's showing. I like the harness pieces on the shoulders, like pauldrons, kind of. I don't know that it deserved to be in the bottom.
I think Nira is a victim of this season. There's 3 bottoms.
Finally, we have Venus.
Who came out completely different, like completely different than what she said she was going to do in the workroom. She said she was going to be a New Jersey lady going to the White House for dinner. I really like this. She's one of those girls that is so like disgustingly like perfect bodied that she could put anything and drape anything on herself and it'll probably look edgy and fashiony.
Kind of an unfair advantage. I mean, I would wear this around the house too, but I honestly liked her first look she was going for too. But I do love this. I love the like wizard sleeve full of safety pins. I love that you can see a little bit of the thong over the side, the spike garter belt type, the one sock. A lot of the details are just, it's well thought out.
We end up with safe queens being Luna Dubois, Aurora Matrix, and Venus.
In the top, we have Kitten, Denim, and Kiki. And the bottom is Amy, Melinda, and Nira. How are you feeling about the placements?
I'm just saying, I did happen to say that Kitten, Kiki, and Denim may be ones to look out for this week.
I could have seen Luna in the top over Kitten. And I could have also seen Aurora in the bottom over Nira. Because that thing that she wore was hideous.
I am not going to agree with that because that's hateful.
I know you won't because you're delusionally in love with Aurora, but it had to be said. It had to be said.
Melinda was like, you could see on her face during her critiques that she was like, not having it. Brooke said that she mentioned that she got emotional when Kiki came out on the runway. When game recognized game like that, I love that.
It was a really nice moment, especially with Kiki struggling last week. And then to see her completely be like, yes, this is my element and I'm going to serve it to you 100%.
In regards to Nira's look, did you get Nira Airways?
I did because she was doing this. Like,
if she wasn't doing that, where'd you get that from this look?
The only thing is she's wearing the like stewardess hat, kind of.
That's a fucking beret. That's a fucking beret. She looks like a little French boy.
It doesn't give airway or airlines. It doesn't give stewardess really at all.
Yeah.
No, because who's gonna be wearing a banana hammock?
Me, bitch.
I was gonna say on Joshita Airlines, baby. Kiki very deservedly wins the Golden Beaver, and backstage, an alliance is forming. Woo!
So exciting. I love that the girls are now kind of like being like, okay, we're getting to that point where it's like, it could be really fucking useful to have a good sis here on my back, you know? And especially because it's Aurora and Luna and Venus. They're like some of my absolute favorites. So it's like, this could be like a powerhouse alliance.
I hope something actually happens with it instead of them just like dangling it in front of my face deliciously.
During this whole little like alliance creation, Aurora was asking Venus how her outfit was even staying together. She was like, girl, it's custom.
I'm one safety pin away from a mental breakdown. She seems like so much fun. All of them do.
No, I don't agree. Critiques kind of end. All the girls come back into the workroom and immediately Nira,
oh my God.
Nira she's in a bad mood. Nira's in a bad mood.
Yes.
And she's like, very clear, I want the beaver used on me. I deserve it.
Fuck it, why not? And but she was saying, you know, if you know a girl can't lip sync, don't give her the beaver, put her in the bottom, make her go home.
At first, I was like, what is going on with Nira? Why is she being, like, I was feeling like she was being nasty. And then I was like, you know what? She probably does feel like she's a victim of, there are now 3 bottoms every episode, and she probably would have been safe on a normal season.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, how we would be seeing, you know, more girls in the bottom technically because we have the Golden Beaver.
Basically, the girls in the bottom have to try to, like, kind of pitch why they should be there, and Melinda starts being like, I don't think I should be saved. I don't kind of want this anymore.
Why should I save you?
I don't think you should save me.
Yeah, Melinda starts having a breakdown.
This is fucking Vivian Westwood inspired.
I'm ready to see her lip sync. I mean, she's been in the bottom a couple of times. She's had a very up and down run so far.
Yeah, I felt like immediately when she started acting like that, I was like, okay, she needs to go and she needs to like either like get the spank of a lip sync and then like learn her lesson, and figure it out from there. But it just kept like snowballing until she just got upset.
Denim chimes in saying that the judges are loving Melinda's personality and she's being, it's being brought up almost every single critique, how great of a performer she is and how charming she is, and that the judges aren't actually using her as a punching bag. I mean, we are using her as a punching bag, but we also both love her and her personality, and we've brought it up multiple times that she's an amazing performer.
Kiki looked like she was walking to her funeral. She was like, no. So she basically comes back in 2 minutes, and Aurora kind of just like reams her when she gets back and is like, if you fucking give up in this lip sync, I am going to be really mad at you.
But it's always tough when a girl is feeling like she's wanting to leave the competition.
Yeah.
Because it is such an incredible opportunity, and there were so many people that tried to get on, and you are here, and it's, it's kind of unfair to the people who could have been there in your spot if you just leave.
Then we move on to Amy, who is the next in line to say, don't save me. She doesn't want Kiki to save her just because they're friends. She wants it to be fair. She starts pouring snot out of her face.
Luna is shading her for the boogers. I think it's honorable or whatever. It's commendable to be like, don't save me just because I'm your friend. But like, Josh, if you're in the bottom, I'm saving you because if you win the show, you can loan me $10,000
via PayPal before taxes. And I would do that for you. Nira then is like, bitch, they are not asking you to save them. I am saying, I look better than you. I look better than you. I'm in the bottom 3. I should be saved.
She's kind of right, though.
It causes this like tension between her and Amy, who then start like fighting with each other. Probably my favorite part of the entire episode was when fucking Amy just basically is like, oh, okay, save Melinda. Save Melinda because I want to fucking wreck this bitch.
That was so cunty. Oh my God.
I screamed.
Save Melinda.
Oh, girl.
And let's do a show.
It's crazy to me that Kiki saved Melinda.
I felt like the girls all felt the same way. They were like, what the fuck? Why did you save Melinda? Because of her attitude. And I get that. We end up having Amy and Near Enough in the bottom 2, and Brooke announces that they are going to be lip syncing to Come Through by Priyanka featuring Lemon.
I knew you were gonna freak out about this lip sync song. Is this the first time we have a Drag Race Girls song featured?
It is the first time ever. The lip sync is amazing. Here's what I'll say. The dancing was amazing.
It seemed like right off the bat, Amy didn't really know the words.
It's got to be really tough with English not being your first language, especially with rap music when you have to like rapid fire those words.
Like, I don't think Amy had a chance when Lemon is basically standing on stage. I think Nira looks like Evil Lemon.
Evil Lemon. Every villain is lemons. Okay, I like that though, because I kind of get that from her attitude this episode. She's Evil Lemon.
She was giving Lemon energy 100% in the lip sync. I mean, she killed that.
She like wiped the whole floor down and like popped her pussy on it.
She got her pussy juice all over that stage, bitch. They need to fucking Swiffer that.
Here's my one thing though with that lip sync. How did Nira, knowing like all this dance moves and how great it was, she didn't do the arm thing
Oh my God.
like Amy did, and I was not here for that.
Amy flipping off everybody was funny like one time, and the rest of it just came off as like crude.
So the lip sync is great. It ends. The girls are dying, and Brooke goes ahead and saves Nira.
And
Amy.
not to bring up Candidates Drag Race Season 1 again. How is this a double Shantae? And Priyanka versus Kiara wasn't. If someone doesn't know the words, I really think we can't be pulling a double Shantae.
Like, we have a few double Shantaes that are, like, questionable. We even have a few that are more questionable than this, including Holland. We have a double save, the first double save of Canada ever, right?
You might be right. I'm not sure. Citation needed.
Amy is one of my tops right now, so I'm really glad she didn't go home. But I am definitely a little nervous about her footing going forward. We get the preview for next week, which is Snatch Game.
I am so excited for Snatch Game.
So very excited for Snatch Game. Almost a little bit more excited for the drama that we were seeing between Melinda and Venus in the workroom right after the lip sync.
Yes.
Ready for that. And there's also a twist coming up.
Wait, stop the music.
So something's happening.
We have to give out our awards, starting off with Best Hair.
This week for Best Hair, I chose Kiki Ko because I loved that little kind of like pussycat finger wave with the jewels in it. Loved it.
I actually gave my best hair to Aurora. Even though I didn't like her overall look, I did really like the victory roll in the front. I thought the hair was an interesting color and it was well put together. The rest of the look was garbage though. Who have you selected for Best Mug?
Best Mug, I'm going to give to Aurora. I think that basically neck up, this look is really good.
I'm trying to... Have you given it to Aurora 3 weeks in a row? You may have. I'm going to check that.
I feel like you're coming after me right now.
My best mug is going to Denim. If you look at her, she has this like beautiful sort of pin-up-y, like very pencil thin eyebrow. The makeup on this looks really interesting.
Who do you have for Best Dress?
I have, obviously, Miss Kiki Ko. Really, who else can you give it to?
You haven't asked me yet.
Well, okay, Josh.
Hot take on this one, am gonna choose Miss Luna Dubois.
That would have been my second choice.
I've thrown the flowers at Kiki today. I'm gonna give this one to Luna.
Going forward, if you had to pick right now, who's winning the season?
Aurora.
Wow, it's fucking shocking. I think if I'm going to pick someone to win the season right now, it's going to be Venus. And I think Venus is going to do well next week. She's my pick.
She's your pick for Snatchy? Next week we have Snatchy coming through. I am going to say probably Kitten will do a good job. And I'm excited to see what Denim is going to bring.
And hopefully we see Melinda pull something out, because this is definitely a challenge that's more in her wheelhouse. And hopefully she can kind of get her shit together.
Let's go watch Dragula.
We gotta go. The grease.
The grease is over, bitch. The grease burnt up.